All right, looks like we got 3 minutes. So I escaped the Florida heat, except I came to New Hampshire and it's been 85 degrees since I've gotten here.
Probably not as humid though, right?
Oh, no, nowhere near as humid. But the high Sunday is supposed to be 56 with some rain.
Hey, you can take mine. I put it. The one.
On the agenda,
Yeah.
there's one right behind you, sir, on that table. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Ron, can you hear us?
Me?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, it appears your microphone might be off.
Starting in the
I'm
one.
muted right now. Can you hear me?
All right, we got you now.
Okay.
Anybody
John.
here from John Walsh?
John, he's just joined.
Oh, there he is. Hey, John. All right, cool. All right, it is 2 o'clock. First item we need to do is establish a quorum. Mitch Latva.
Tom Craig.
John Priest?
John Walsh, you're muted.
How's that?
All
Got
right.
you now.
Yeah, just state your name, John.
Yeah, John Walsh, sorry.
Okay, all right. We have a quorum. All board members are present. Michael, proof of notice.
I can confirm that it was posted on the calendar 3 weeks ago and has been subsequently sent out to the community.
Excellent. Then I officially call this May Board of Directors meeting to order. Let's start with a quick financial review. Our reserve account with Raymond James, a current amounts of monies in there are $5,625,105. And our current operating account is 613,766. So we're still in good shape there. As far as where we are with the 2026 budget, year to date, we are 31% of this year's budget. So we are right on track with our annual budget. The 2025 audit is still scheduled for the end of June. I believe, Michael, you haven't heard anything differently, have you?
That's the latest I heard.
Okay. All right. Total Fire, who has been on property for quite some time now, repairing and replacing sprinkler heads, they have buildings 2, 3, and 4 complete, and they're going to start building 5 on 5/26. Is that still the date, Jeff? Do you know?
That's correct.
All right, cool. And that same date, 5/26, that's when window cleaning will start, and they should be here all week cleaning the windows. And I'd like to just remind residents that the only windows that we have them clean are ones that you cannot reach. So the ones that are your sliders that you can clean, and the ones that you can reach from the breezeways are the owner's responsibilities. They don't clean those windows. Dry vent cleaning has been completed. That's on the exterior. And the interior starts June 1st. We were able to access and inspect 78% of homeowner AC units, which that's a pretty good number. And I want to give Jeff and his team and Michael and working with our contractors, we've received a lot of positive feedback and compliments from people entering their units. And the most recent was from a new owner who purchased earlier this year. And I'm going to read what he wrote. He just yesterday just sent this, and like to hear good news. He said, I have found the people entering my unit to be polite while doing their tasks. It seems to be a well-managed process. So, congratulations to you guys managing that process and keeping everybody happy. 95% of homeowner comments we receive is positive. So I think you guys are really doing something right. That's really good. Angel Painter Services has started painting the clubhouse. It's probably all taped up over the windows there, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. And when they finish that, they're going to move to the west pool bathrooms next.
That's correct.
Okay, so we're going to get, again, this is something that we can do just to make our areas much more presentable. They're about due. And we're coming down the home stretch on painting and repairing the exposed concrete and the bubbles on the breezeways. Jeff, when do you expect this round, your first round through to be completed?
Possibly as early as next Friday.
Okay, awesome. And as I had said before, as we move forward until we get the opportunity to get these breezeways completely redone, we're not going to let it get bad like what we started with, this last year. As areas come up, we'll have some paint on hand to touch those up. And this is just a temporary visual Band-Aid. It's not a permanent repair, but some floors it's pretty bad eyesore, and so they do look a lot better than what was there. U.S. Tennis has completed the sports courts, and I played on them several times before I left, and they're just awesome. They're really good. I really like the surface that they put down. Our Summit Internet contract is coming. It's about 17 months away. And I guess in condominiums in Florida, the standard contract term is 10 years. So we are starting to look into if we're going to renew these guys. Are we going to switch to somebody else? John Walsh and I, and in the clubhouse here, we were the guinea pigs on their new wireless system. It is a nice system, but there's been some hiccups and some frustration on John's and my part.
Agreed. Yeah.
Getting it going, but when it works great. And it isn't just us. This system is fairly new to Summit, and they're still kind of working the bugs out. So in the meantime, what we've done is we have contacted Hotwire and Xfinity, and both of these companies have been on property, and they have one has and the other is in the process of evaluating our system. And so we're waiting for proposals from these two other companies. And Tom, you have Xfinity down there, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, and you said you're really happy with that, right?
I am. And
Yeah.
we also have Xfinity elsewhere, and we're very happy with it, both in terms of reliability, speed, options that they have, etc.
Yeah. So at any rate, we're going to have three proposals and we've got a little bit of time here, but this is something that doesn't happen overnight if we decide to switch vendors on this. So we've got
I
some
just
time
say
to
on
work.
the
What's that?
time aspect, I know when we looked at this maybe a year or so ago, there's an automatic renewal pretty early on. I don't think it's like 1 month. I think it could be a year or 6 months. I can't remember what it was, but there isn't auto renewal, so we do have to be careful of that, please.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, good point. Michael, would you just check the contract on that and just see what we've got?
Yeah, be happy to.
Okay, thank you. We uh John Walsh, myself, Jeff and Michael met with a contractor to replace the door hardware. That was, I don't know, 5, 6 weeks ago, I guess. And he was going to get us a proposal, but he seems to have fallen off the face of the earth. We can't get a hold of him. So I'm guessing he's not interested in doing it. That's a wild guess. So at any rate, I've asked Michael to reach out to some other contractors to see if we can get a proposal to get just this is just the hardware, the wear points replacement, because replacing the doors themselves, you got new codes and we're looking at a huge expense. So we'll be looking forward to getting somebody else in there, Michael. West Coast Roofing has completed their inspection of all 4 buildings, and they report the roofs are still in serviceable condition, with some areas needing repair. And the cost for the repair is 18. This is an annual maintenance that we always do, and the cost for the repairs in all 4 buildings is only $18,000. So we're in pretty good shape right there. There's areas that have bubbled up there, and some areas that has some low spots that looks just kind of ugly. So they have always done a pretty good job at doing the repair. And actually, West Coast Roofing was the company that originally installed this in 1999. Moving on, we currently have 14 units for sale with 1 under contract. And so we were speaking with Roy Head from Sirhant, who knows Bayfront really well, and he provided just a brief market analysis for us. And in the past 12 months, 11 properties have been sold with an average selling price of $1,392,727, which is $774 per square foot. The 13 properties currently listed have an average square foot price of $767. So we're about in the same boat as we were last year. And that's he sent us a 2-page, just a brief summary, and that's available. Michael can give anybody who wants a copy of that summary, because it's got some other details in there. I just kind of hit the highlights of it. And that is all I have for my brief president's report from Sunapee, New Hampshire. I guess we'll move on to
Mitch,
yeah.
if you we finished the treasurer's report. Thank you for forwarding the financials. I did notice we don't have the Raymond James in there, but more importantly, I had a whole bunch of questions. I assume you prefer that I send those directly to Seacrest,
Yes, please.
which actually I did. I preempted you, so thanks for that. One thing I did start looking at, and my access to Appfolio is perhaps restricted in some ways because I cannot get beyond some of the data, but I looked at the 2025 income expense statement and I see that the cost of our CAM is $240,000, i.e. almost $250,000. I've got to assume that's incorrect.
That is not the salary by any means, no.
No.
Are you looking at the 25s?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's different in 26. 25's included Shane in there too.
we have a separate line item for janitorial and maintenance.
Yeah, those in 25, one of the team members was included in there also.
So that,
We didn't develop the 25 budget.
but we have a line item for janitorial and maintenance staff. So
Yeah,
that's
that
what
was that 2025 budget, John, was developed by the last board. So we've got no control. We had no control. We know nothing about it.
No, this isn't the budget. This is the actual accounts. This is the income and expense statement as per Appfolio. It's not budget.
All right, so Michael, would you work with John Kreese on assuring that he says he's limited on access? Could you work with John and make sure that
What exactly are you limited to?
Well,
If
I
you tell
see.
me, I'll make sure that you have access, because if you're in the board department, you should have access to everything that's listed in the board. And if you
for
don't,
instance,
let me know what it is and I'll make sure you do.
I will. Like when Dominic gave me a one-on-one, he was able to click on an entry and it would show everything behind it. When I click on an entry, I get crickets, nothing. So I can't actually do deep reviews.
And so what exactly is it you're wanting to do a deep review on?
Well, I really want to make sure that finances are where we all would like them to be. So I would like access to our to certainly review our finances and the source of all data.
Okay, but what exactly?
Specifically or exactly?
Exactly.
Exactly everything.
Okay, so you want a set of financials, which is in.
No, I can draw those off of Appfolio.
Okay,
It's like, for instance, if I look at CAM 240,000, if I click on that, I would expect to see that expand into what's behind it.
okay.
Maybe that's a bad example, but that's what Dominic had showed me. Sorry, shown me.
And for the purpose of total transparency, I do not make.
No, I-
20,000.
No, I don't think it's good. But as I say, we have
That's a great idea.
a line item.
If we afforded it in 25,
Yeah.
there's no reason why we shouldn't afford it in 26.
Okay, otherwise I've sent a whole bunch of questions to Seacrest.
okay, awesome.
But also on the finances, you mentioned the 2025 audit is due in a month, 6 weeks, whatever. The 2024 audit we received recently, the accounting firm gave us 8 recommendations, some of which are timed out, like balance at First Horizon exceeding 250,000. But I'm wondering, where are we in implementing these suggestions?
I don't have any information in front of me.
I'll be happy to pull up the review and I'll send it out to the board for their comment.
Well, it's not so much that, it's they've given us recommendations, so we either
But
ignore
the
them.
board decides what recommendations they follow through with. So I'll send out the audit, it will have recommendations.
Well, we already got it.
Well, you have it, but not the rest of the board don't have it here, so they
Oh.
can't discuss it here.
Okay, let's table it for the next board meeting. Because some of them are actually quite important about additional procedures, documentation of oversight of banking transactions.
Yeah, well, before we discuss that, John, let's give the board ample time, to review it, because we can't have a discussion right now. I don't have that.
It needs to be raised. Okay. Thank you, Mitch.
All right, on to new business. First agenda item is approval of Board of Director meeting minutes from 4/15/2026. We'll need a
I had
motion.
an addition. Michael?
We'll need a motion to move that.
You usually send
I did.
something covered in red and I haven't.
No, wasn't right.
Okay. I haven't received anything relating to the minutes.
Oh,
Otherwise, I would have had them prepared for the
yeah,
meeting.
absolutely. That's interesting. Okay. Thank you.
I was actually surprised that I hadn't received them.
I was surprised there was nothing on the table for us. Okay.
So can we have a motion to accept the minutes that Michael sent out a week or two ago?
I'll make a motion. John Walsh.
And we'll need a second.
One second.
Tom, second. All those in favor of accepting the minutes that Michael sent out, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
Aye, me, nay.
Minutes are accepted. Okay, the next five.
May I just say on the minutes, if we could get them sooner? Last month, we got them almost 2 months after the February meeting, and we only received them last week, 3 weeks after the last meeting. It's much easier, certainly for me, and I assume for other people, if we could review them while they're fresh in people's minds.
And at the last meeting, I asked how many days you would like ahead of time, and your answer was 7.
After the meeting, I meant after the meeting.
And I've given after the meeting, and I've given them to you after 15 days.
No, 7 days after the meeting. Not 7 days before the meeting. The finances, we wanted the finances 7 days.
Then I'll review that to make sure
Yeah.
that we're not at odds there.
Well, then, if whatever we said, I would like them much sooner. I would say within a week of the meeting.
Within a week after the meeting.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying within a week before the meeting,
No.
after, I think that's why I got confused.
So today, I'd like to see them a week today or sooner. Could be 10 days, but I'd certainly like them sooner than the week before the meeting.
Okay, so the next,
So a week.
all right, so Michael, you're gonna review that, and the next 5 items, John Creeve, you added those, so take it away.
Okay. What have we got? The first one, contract approval. This is really just housekeeping. In January, the
We've
board.
got matters arising from minutes.
Are there any matters arising from? No, that's just that should always be in there.
Oh,
We should always have matters arising and always have correspondence and communication. So there's no matters arising.
I just copy paste.
Yeah, I know. No, that's you absolutely fine, right? So if there's no matters arising, then 3, contract approval, Angel Painter Services. In January, the board approved a painting contract specifically with Angel Painting, ING Services. Payment was issued to Painter ER Services, which does, and we need to correct that. So to correct our records, protect the association, bring us into compliance, we need a motion to ratify the name that we paid and the name who contracted the work, in my humble opinion.
Jason, you there?
Yes, sir.
John believes we need to make a motion for this here. Could you provide some expert legal opinion on this road we're going down?
Well, I'll tell you what I can. So it sounds like the name on the check was different from the name of the contractor that you contracted with. But I presume it was, sent to the appropriate contractor and they accepted that check, and I'm assuming it was deposited into the correct contractor's account. I'm just assuming.
That is correct.
Statement of fact is that the proposal came in one name.
Yes, sir.
The check went out to a different name. The original name does not exist. For
Understood.
some reason, he put a different name.
So if the check has already been written and deposited by the correct contractor, I think you would simply want to update your accounting software to ensure that when future checks or draws are written, that the correct name, but you can't.
It's the fact
Pull it
that
back.
it's the fact that we have voted on one name
Mhm.
and essentially employed a separate name. So all I think we need to do is just to ratify, post, approve the correct name, Angel Painter Services.
So the correct name is Angel Painter Services.
Yeah,
Okay. But who did you enter a contract with? What is the name?
it was from the proposal that we voted on with Angel Painting, ING.
Okay. So it's simply the proposal that you voted on, the name was listed wrong, but
Correct.
not the name on the check.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's just asking for administrative clerical fix so that you go back and ratify that the name of the actual contractor is Angel Painter, PR.
Yeah.
Not Angel Painting, which you voted on. So that's fine. I would just do that administrative fix and maybe you even correct the prior minutes if you want. But I guess if it was voted on incorrectly, you would just ratify now as you suggested, the correct name. So
That's what it is. It's just
it's just an administrative fix.
Yeah.
So
All right, so what are
motion.
we doing?
I can make a motion. I move the board ratifies and approves the painting services performed by and the payment issued to Angel Painter ER Services under the scope and price originally approved in January for Angel Painting Services LLC. This ratification is necessary to formally authorize the transaction and assign our official records with what actually occurred.
All right,
So
so
I
we're
think
just gonna clean up the records. I don't have any, I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. So Michael, you just make that little administrative change and we're all set.
Happy to.
Thank
Okay, security, couple of items. I was on the roof the other day with a building 4 with a HVAC engineer, and he pointed out how fragile some of the units are on their mounts and the mounts to the roof, and how some of the electrical boxes seem to be open. He raised concern over that, and I must admit, with the coming hurricane season and hopefully with El Nino or whatever, it will not be as bad. But there's obviously a potential issue there that I think we need to keep an eye on. And also, Mitch, you mentioned the front door too, and I would like to building 4 specifically. I'm glad to hear that we're trying to get that fixed. This has been this door is open more times than it's locked shut. Trish, my wife, lost the package. One of our neighbors said that she does not feel safe, given that the door is invariably open and anybody gets through the door, they get into the building. So I would certainly urge that we get that resolved as soon as we can. Also, one thing that came up, Jeff very kindly went back through the tapes to see if we could see who had the sticky fingers. And unfortunately, the tapes only go back 48 hours. And so the fact this happened over a weekend, we couldn't capture whoever borrowed our package. So I would ask if we could look at that, because if something happens on a Friday night and then we get to Jeff on a Monday, that's obviously out of scope.
So look at what?
Just see if we could extend the recording. I don't know, Jeff, what do you're the expert.
So yeah, what I'm doing now, I'm in contact with our security company.
Hmm.
We think we're looking at upgrading the storage for the playback to go back up to 7 days now. Of course, that comes at a cost. I've got a rough estimate about $950 for an external or an extra hard drive. And then also they informed me that we might have the capability to go back even further with what we have. But we're gonna have a tech come out Monday morning or tomorrow morning and look at this to remedy that issue.
And in terms of, I know this is probably how long is a piece of string, but in terms of getting these errant doors fixed.
I have reached out to 2 other door contractors and I'm waiting to hear back when they can get in and do it.
Because what seems to happen is it bounces off and doesn't catch. Tom, you
I'm gonna make a comment.
Please.
It's very simple. I make sure before I leave the door,
Yeah.
I make sure the door is closed.
ditto.
Okay, and until we,
Yeah,
everybody needs to do that.
yeah,
Not just certain people, everybody needs
Yeah.
to do that.
I agree.
The other thing with the disconnects on the AC, that's the owner's
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah.
And none of them are doing it.
Yeah.
So,
I
mean, you can only babysit so much.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just don't want anyone's AC unit blowing off into a new AC.
No, I understand, but that's an owner's
Or off the roof,
responsibility.
Yeah.
I just want to put it out there too, that during our AC inspection, anytime that the tech's seen that, he wrote it up.
Okay, good.
So and then we send it out to.
We just gotta make sure that people are following through and having it fixed.
Right.
And that's where the problem lies.
And that's where the problem lies. Just like not making sure the door
Yeah.
closes before you get in the elevator or you leave the building because we're having door issues. It's
Yeah.
the
Right,
person's
and
responsibility.
actually Total Fire, recommended that I get a couple of things, repaired up there as well, which I'm gonna have them do. Very, very, professional company that provides, some really good feedback to all the homeowners. I've only been at Bayfront since 2018, but I've never seen, any, inspection at this level. I think they're doing an awesome job.
Mitch, what do you haven't done on the roof for fire for your unit?
The disconnect was all rusty, and so they recommended
That's not total fire. That would be Southern Comfort.
Southern Comfort. All right,
I was just asking.
I'm at 1,100 feet above sea level now, so I'm a little. It's going to take me a couple of weeks.
Just going back to Tom's comment, I wholeheartedly agree with you. We need to pull the door shut. So maybe, Michael, would it be an idea to send out an email specifically to Building 4, asking that people do that, and also maybe putting a good looking notice in the window, in the door, just to say, please make sure the door is closed behind you.
We will take care of that.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's me on security. I distributed, arising from last month's conversation about AI generated minutes. Firstly, my apologies that I only distributed my documents last night, so I'm guessing folks haven't had any time or a lot of time to review them, but.
No, we need like 7 days for stuff like that, John.
You need longer.
Longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it this morning here when I got to work a few hours ago. And there's 3 attachments, it's 50 pages total. I don't know as we're ready to review that with only 3 hours notice.
No, and my apologies, I kept refining it and refining it and refining it, and
well, it's 50 pages, that takes a while.
Then they're almost okay or something like that. But in a nutshell, the recommendation, and obviously this board, please feel free to comment or to think otherwise, is to use Zoom AI Companion. The reason for that is we already use Zoom and it ties in with the OWL. We already use it. All it needs is to be instigated at the beginning of each meeting. What I did attach, which maybe you do want to have a look at in the fullness of time, from last month's Board of Directors meeting, I produced a draft raw output from one of the AI engines. And it's raw, so there is the human oversight needed to it, but do have a look at it, and maybe we chat about it next meeting.
Yeah, let's, Michael, let's, put that on, June's, agenda. That way we'll have a whole month to review, John's proposals.
Confirm.
And again, my apologies for getting that so late. So,
John, I apologize. Can I make a suggestion as,
yeah,
because I'm,
Please.
with other
that's
associations.
what we pay you for.
That the AI tools are amazing, what it can do. So first, you're gonna have a recording of the meetings.
Yes.
But there's no way to search, a film recording, for items that you're looking for. So I think these note takers are great in the event that you're looking for specific items or matters that come up for discussion. You can actually, create these notes, you can, upload them to some sort of document server of your own. And then if somebody was interested, they could do a search for key terms. But I also think they make for poor minutes. Like, so for most people in the crowd, they want to see, give me the brief summary, not the 50-page transcription of the meeting. And so maybe what you're looking for is three distinct things. One is the actual recording, so you can see what actually happened. Two is this AI generated notes that people could go back later and put in search terms. And then three, minutes, their summary. So as you discuss moving forward, consider it that way. So.
And for the City of Naples and also the Airport Authority, they use the co-pilot for that.
Yes.
So not only do we get a recording, we also get a verbatim transcript, and then from the transcript becomes the minutes. And the beauty is you can dial down. So you can go verbose or succinct or anything in between with it, because plainly we don't want verbose. We do need to capture, I believe, the key aspects, although as I mentioned to you before, I take greater comfort now that we have a video recording of these meetings, albeit only for a year, but we still have that so we can go back. The beauty with the transcript is that if anyone does want to go back, and luckily these meetings are only an hour, it's not so hard, but when it's a 5-6 hour meeting, it's more difficult. So with a transcript, yes, you can go back and search.
It'll obviously take somebody reviewing the AI generated notes to fix certain words or phrases. But I think the board then still has to determine, well, how much of this do we want to include in a more summary minutes form versus, what not.
I agree. And that's a case of, well, I was going to suggest we do it in June, but say July's meeting, if we have a meeting in the summer or August meeting, we do a parallel run and we say, yeah, that's too much, that's too little. But yeah, you're absolutely right that it's like fire. It's a bad, these AI tools are, a good servant, but a bad master. And we have to be careful of that. And we do have to look at the minutes, because the ones, if you do care to look at what I produced there, there's a lot of errors in there, which have to be corrected.
Which means somebody is either gonna have to volunteer or you'll maybe have to pay somebody to correct it.
It's still quicker than typing up minutes.
Well, absolutely, rather than having a reporter in here typing every word.
Or even Michael or whoever at the airport, both the airport and the city, we are saving not hundreds, probably tens of thousands by using AI for minutes, and they are good. We did a parallel run for a couple of months and they were accepted, and now they're only AI generated, but that's with the proviso that we do keep a full transcript. And of course, we've also got the videos.
And what you sent out is a specific company that you checked into for this?
I reviewed five companies.
Okay.
So there's actually a PowerPoint presentation which has got all this stuff in. So I looked at 5 and cut out, I like Copilot, but it's expensive. We don't need them.
While we're on the subject, John, I
Yes.
know you and I have spoken about trying to recover the video to the February meeting. Were you able to do that?
I did speak with contacts at Zoom, they think it was operator error,
Okay.
so I don't think so, unfortunately. But we do have we have the transcript,
Oh, you have 40 pages for an hour
Yeah.
meeting.
every ifs, every buts, every else, yes. No, I failed on that one. So that's the proposal for the AI tool. Hopefully it will save us a lot of time and energy and effort and effort. And thank you for your input.
For whatever it's worth, yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. And then I put correspondence and communication on there, really because I feel that matters arising from minutes and correspondence and communication are two things that should always be on there, because it gives us the ability to discuss things that are not on the agenda. Where you going? And one of the things I do want to raise is Appfolio is a disaster. I tried to pull up contracts recently and I can only get to 2023. So I don't know what we do about this. Is it just my access, or is it, and I can see that work has been done, but I think it needs to be cleaned up.
Okay, so Appfolio is junk in, junk out, which means it has to be manually input.
Yeah.
Which means that at some point, and if the board can direct me as to how important this is, I can pull up what information I have and put it into Appfolio. You've probably seen that all the minutes are done, the agendas are done, the recordings are done, financials are done, the bank statements. Those I thought were all priorities. If we want to see what sort of who we used in 2022.
Yeah.
As a contractor, I guess I could do that. If that's important.
I get that. Like, for instance, Michael, when we were having the initial discussions over Angel Paint In or Mitch sent out an email saying that, you know, we wasted time discussing this in the board meeting. Everything is available on Appfolio. I went into Appfolio, and the most recent contract in there for me was 2023.
But I will say that the board meeting is not the only time that we can discuss things. And if you're not finding what you want, just reach out. You don't need to wait to have it recorded in a board meeting.
Well, I do like doing things in the sunshine. So I don't know what we do. Obviously, yes, it's, as you say, it's garbage in, garbage out. I really don't know what to suggest. It does need work, but of course it's prioritization. Does anyone have any thoughts, ideas? Is it important to them? Okay. That's me done.
Okay, well, moving on, I guess, to council. Jason, can you please update us?
Yes, I'll give you a brief update. As you all know, the board had concerns with the unilateral amendments adopted to the Declaration of Covenants. So early this year, suit was filed against Bayfront Inc. to get those amendments repealed. A motion to dismiss was filed by Bayfront Inc. That motion was denied by the court. They filed an answer and affirmative defenses. We have filed a motion to strike their affirmative defenses and setting that motion for hearing. We have filed a request for production of documents. Each document we requested, they objected to. Therefore, we have filed a motion to compel the turnover of those documents, and that is being set for hearing. So our hope and expectation is we'll get the court to force documents to be turned over. Once those documents are turned over, we'll then be able to schedule some depositions with individuals that we think are necessary. But the overall timeline here is actually set forth in the court-ordered case management plan, and that is available on the clerk's website. And I just want everybody to know that the judge gave us what's called a streamlined track, and he anticipates a trial period for this case between October 26th and November 13th of this year. So I don't want people to be concerned about protracted litigation lasting 2-3 years. This should be wrapped up, within the same calendar year it was filed. So that's my update for now.
So how did you achieve this fast track for us?
I didn't, that was the judge's determination all on his own.
Oh, okay. What about there were two homeowners who also had filed something too. What happened with that?
They filed what's called a motion to intervene to, make an appearance in the case. But that motion to intervene has not been set for hearing. I have not heard from those homeowners' lawyers to do that. I don't know what their appetite is for that in light of the judge's recent ruling, where he denied the motion to dismiss. So I have heard nothing further, and I'm not going to let it hold up our case. So it's out there, and I'm going to leave it where it is.
So they have engaged their own counsel?
They engaged the same counsel that Bayfront Inc. is using, so.
All right. That's a different cost.
Thank
That's
you,
a
Jake.
different. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you for the update. All right, moving on. We've got other business. Ron, you just popped up on my screen. You got something?
I'm just listening to this interesting conversation. That's all, man.
All right. All right. No other business. It's homeowner comments.
Jump in there. We all received a couple of missives from Terry Cattle. Some of what he raised is like the 30% increase in operating costs, I think, do need to be examined. And I think we should be looking at where the cost increases are coming from. My personal worry is that this year we got a bit of a buy because we got some relief from the latest reserve advisors study, which meant we could cut our reserve portion. But looking at the future cash flow needs for the reserves, it's the only year we're going to get that relief. So I do think we need to look very, very carefully at what the costs are, where they are. It's tough, but I do think we need to try to look at stuff. And it may also be that we're spending money on fire and sort of deferred maintenance, which maybe should be in the go into out of reserves rather than operating. I don't know. I'm just beginning to think about it.
No, this basic repairs and fixes that Total Fire's doing, that is not a reserve. That is not a reserve cost. That's a daily maintenance operating cost.
But I will add to that, if I may, Mitch, that most of what they are doing is deferred maintenance.
Yeah.
So it can be funded from reserve.
Yeah, that would be without
Okay.
I think we could get away with it from an accounting perspective.
Yeah, and John, I have a couple. Thanks for mentioning my name.
Yeah, hold on. I haven't opened up the floor to homeowner comments yet. Would you please hold on?
Sure.
Okay, John, you were in the middle of a sentence, I believe.
No, I already finished. I was just saying that I think that we as a board need to have a particularly tight focus maybe over the summer as to where these increases in costs are coming from. I know there's small things like cost of trash went from like 6 to 12 grand or something. That's de minimis in the big scheme of things, but I think that we need to identify what it is. And I do feel that because we haven't been able to do our deferred maintenance, that things are failing and having to be replaced, which won't be because what did you say last time? Some of these sprinkler heads are original, so 25 years old. So we won't need to attack that for 25 years. So we are, it's a bit like the sort of proverbial stitch in time saves 9. We didn't do the stitch in time, and so we're spending more money now. But hopefully these are going to be one-off expenditures.
Yeah, I mean, year to date, as I mentioned earlier, we're right on budget. So I don't know what you mean by we're gone way over. We're right on the budget that we
I
developed.
think we're over budget. We had an increase 24 to 25, 25 to 26. And that's also when our insurance premium went down by 25% last year, 25% this year. So we're getting a tailwind on some things. I'd like to identify where the headwinds are. Is
Okay,
that fair?
yeah, sure. So if you want to attack that, go ahead.
The budget's
Well, so-
available for everybody to review. If there are
It's-
numbers in there that you feel uncomfortable with, we can have it on the agenda.
A budget's more like a roadmap. I'd like to be able to dig into the numbers to really see, and that's where we come back round to full access to Appfolio.
All right, well,
Anyway,
hopefully we'll get that straightened out so you'll have full access so you can dig into it. That'd be great.
I think as a board, we all have a fiduciary responsibility to ensure we have full access. No?
Yes. Any other business? Okay, now we're going to move on to homeowner comments. And, as usual, I'd like homeowners to limit their comments to 3 minutes because, Tom, I'm going to try to keep this baby under an hour, okay?
Okay, good. Thanks. I'd like to jump in for a couple comments. One, John, thanks for the reference to what I'd sent on emails. Very important. The bottom line is this board has budgeted expenses up $418,000 from the budget of the prior year, which is a 30% increase. This trajectory of expenses will ruin the association. These are operational expenses. And when we mentioned, well, it could be this, it could be that, we need to know. And specifically in the 26 budget, there's legal fees of 175,000 budgeted. Perhaps that has a little bit to do with the increase. The 175,000 legal fees?
The 175,000, Terry, is to cover this lawsuit with Bayfront Inc.
Okay, well, good. Now we know that. That's pretty costly. Hopefully we don't lose. It's certainly a lot to the association, but that explains some of the increase. But also balancing out this budget by perfect balance, the decrease in the capital portion of the assessment of $680 equaled exactly the increase in the operational expense assessment. But when you look at the actual budget, this is balanced out by this line item at the top of the budget. And help me with this, everyone. It's called the operating fund association subsidy from operating account. $325,000 has never appeared in a budget before. What is that?
The 2025 budget had $850,000 under that line item.
It doesn't, you can look right at the budget. Look at the 26 budget. There's no comparable 25 amount. It stands on its own of 325,000. I know, Mitch, you're looking away. This is very important. We cannot sustain this trajectory of expenses. There's no way.
All right, thank you for your
you send an
thank
email
you
to
for
the
your
board,
input.
reach out to Seacrest to get insight into that.
I really have found things pretty unresponsive and not directly responding to the critical matters at hand.
Terry, I pledge to reach out to Seacrest, get an answer, and get back to you. If you just
It's right in the
send
budget. It's 325,000. You add the 175,000 in legal, you've got $500,000 right there. That's a lot.
Terry, let's just talk
3
about
minutes.
175 legal, because since we have Jason here, we obviously discussed whether we should or should not challenge this, and Jason gave his advice that we cannot let this go. And we do need to challenge it because then it creates, I believe I'm correct in saying, a precedent, and he can do like again. But maybe rather than me put words in your mouth, you put words in your own mouth and explain
Thank you.
why we were best advised to go forward with this route.
Thank you. Yes, sir. The concern is unilateral amendments to the Declaration of Covenants that push more and more and more of the shared facility expense onto the residential owner. So that's what you're concerned about. Right now, you're talking about painting and waterproofing, and you decide, you know what? We can handle that. That's not a big deal this year, but what is it next year that gets pushed off onto you, and next year and next year? And then your operating budget will really get out of control. Now, obviously, the hope is that Mr. Stoneburner of Bayfront Inc. would be willing to repeal that amendment, and of course, meet with the board, and you could find mutually agreeable amendments to the Declaration of Covenants or shared expenses if you wanted. But you don't want this unilateral ability to pass on those expenses. My hope, of course, is that you do not have to spend $175,000 in legal fees this year. Again, this could be resolved right now if that amendment is repealed and you enter into joint discussions for mutually agreeable amendments. But this is the situation you've been given and you need to deal with it, or it's going to be more than $175,000 in legal fees you got to be concerned about year after year after year. So that's my thought, John. So thanks for the moment.
Thank you. And since you're on that topic, if I might just ask council another question. Am I correct in saying that in a community like ourselves, where we have an operating owner, as from maybe 1st of July last year, he now has a responsibility to share his finances with us? And I saw something the other day, meant to print it, meant to reach out, and here we are. Sorry.
The operating owner of Bayfront Inc. does have the responsibility to all the property owners, being the commercial owner and the residential partial owner, to provide a budget to, give you sort of the information you, John, are looking for from Bayfront Condo of Naples Inc. Bayfront Inc. is also sort of required to distribute that information. Sometimes it's forthcoming, sometimes it's not, but it is set forth in the Declaration of Covenants that information is to be shared.
I believe there's a Florida statute as effective as of July last year. He has a statutory duty within 60 days to provide us with this. I'll check that up and get back to you.
Yes,
Can I
sir.
respond to that?
Yeah.
Kevin, sorry. Yeah, you're providing a budget every year before year end. This year was no exception, so you've been given a budget. I don't know if it's been distributed or not, but it's given to you.
Okay, thank you, Kevin.
One other thing, I have a jump off of this call to call with Cronin Engineering about the repair to the parking garage. Are you guys aware of that?
Yeah, have you got that scheduled?
Well, that I postponed it because I was going to schedule 6 months ago, but now we're ready to start. So that's what the meeting's about.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just let us know, because we've got some homeowners' vehicles that we're gonna have to try to get moved out of the way because they've gone north.
Yeah.
Kevin, is this the damage from the leaking pool in the east garage?
Yes.
One and the same. Okay, and that still hasn't been repaired.
No, I was going to repair it when we first discovered it, but was asked to postpone it because of the residents showing up for the season. So we did, but now it's time to do it.
Yeah, agreed.
Just one other thing before I jump off. I'd be happy to meet with you guys anytime about our differences with as far as painting the walkways, but and I disagree with your legal counsel on a number of points, but I can point that out at a different time.
Personally, I'm all for communication and consultation, and I'm sure we all are.
Yeah.
And as your legal counsel, I will encourage you to have that conversation. So don't let me stand in the way.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Okay, I got to run.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks for calling in. Good to see you.
Same here.
So part of John Kreese, you hopefully remember this. I mean, part of one of the big differences between the budget that we had to work to last year that was developed by the prior board, if you recall, it was underfunded by something like $850,000, and operating cash was used to fill that void. You recall that?
I do recall that.
Yeah, so that kind of makes a lot of these numbers look a little skewed for sure. And also there were some serious mistakes made in that budget for 2025. There wasn't even a maintenance manager's salary in there. There were a lot of mistakes that we discovered when we were developing the 2026 budget that had to be fixed. So, comparing, a budget from the prior board with lots of mistakes to one that I think is pretty solid, you're going to see some differences.
No, I hear you. I just unfortunately I left my budget packet on my desk.
Well, at any rate, but as soon as you get the access that you're looking for that you can't get into, just always keep that in mind. If you want to compare it to the prior board's budget, which I think was a piece of crap,
I'm not so worried about budgets. I'm worried about actuals. There is a difference between them.
Okay.
But if I can get unlimited access, I will be able to, when I get time, dig deep.
All right. Sounds good. Any other homeowner comments?
Did Terry finish?
Yes, I appreciate the time. Actuals count the most, and the budget for 26. I think it's worth the look line item by line. I'd like to focus on that 325,000 at number one. That's a big number. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Is there any other homeowners comments? If not, we are to the adjournment portion of this meeting. I'll need a motion made to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
And a second.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. And Tom, 1 minute to spare. All right. Have a good afternoon, everybody.
Thank you.
This is, I know it's too long, but this is just, I didn't dump.